I know my man John from LDL TV is in the chat room right now. He was kidding with me, calling me Billy C. Nostradamus. But you guys heard me predict some people that were going to go fight for him, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later here in a couple of minutes. Speaking of Shakira Stevenson, and I've also predicted that. Usyk will fight under the Zuffa banner. I predicted that Canelo will, and I wouldn't be surprised if both of those fight their next fights under Zuffa. And I also said Ryan Garcia, and everybody laughed at me because we all know that Oscar De La Hoya, well, all the promoters, but specifically Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn, has been brutal to Dana White and Zuffa Boxing, et cetera, et cetera, until Ryan Garcia just signed a fight with Zuffa Boxing's Conor Benn. And now it seems that promoters are going to soften up. And now I said that they would have to. And this means Dana White and Zuffa Boxing also, that they have to work together because there's only so many fighters. And a pool of fighters is the pool of fighters. You have a pool of fighters, and those are the fighters that fight. Now, you can start saying this one won't fight that one, or this one fights tougher fights than this. But at the end of the day, there's the big fights, the money fights. And this is, no knock on any promoter or anything like that. But the fighter gets to choose which promoter, which deal he wants to sign. And then he hopes that he made the right decision. Ryan Garcia had one more, I believe, from what I understand, he had one more fight under Golden Boy. I think. I don't know if he renewed or not. Conor Benn just dissed Matchroom Boxing and signed with Zuffa Boxing. Now Ryan Garcia is fighting Conor Benn. It's going to be under the Zuffa promotion, and it's going to be on Paramount on September 12th in Las Vegas. Here's the thing, and Dana White said this is such a great fight. Conor Benn has won 26 of his 27 fights, coming off a big win in the UK. Ryan Garcia is one of the biggest stars in boxing. He's a world champion. These guys are in their prime, and it's a fight they both wanted for a long time. They'll come face-to-face for the first time today on September. This was during the press conference, and they'll come face-to-face in the ring on September 12th. Now, the fireworks have already started. I don't know if you follow social media, but these two are really going to put on some entertaining press conferences in the next several weeks leading up to this fight. Here's a couple of things to consider. The fight's being promoted by Zuffa. And I guess Golden Boy now is, making nice. Hey, face it, Don King and Bob Arum, they weren't exactly bosom buddies back in the day when we were getting all these fights. But when the big fights needed to be made and the fans were calling for the big fights and they could both make a ton of money, they got together and played nice. And that's what Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya has done with this particular fight. And make no mistake, Oscar's not going to be the only promoter that works with Dana White. They're going to have to. Dana White is going to take over this sport because he's already got the bankroll. Now, in case you didn't know this, well, I'll just tell you for what I know. He's already got the bankroll that Turki Al-Rashid put aside for him. We all know that Turki Al-Rashid is not well. He's trying his hardest to get everybody to play nice. This looks like it might have been the first step. We also know that Eddie Hearn has met with Turki Al-Rashid, and they're trying to get everybody to coexist. Now, a couple of things. Oscar said he would never work with him, and he is. Zuffa said they will never honor a world title belt except for theirs. And that is not true anymore because they're honoring Ryan Garcia's championship belt, and it will be on the line for this fight. So there's been several concessions made, and I think it was worth it because, to be honest with you, I love this fight. Somebody asked me the other day, "Hey, what do you think of the fight?" And I was about to say, I stopped myself, but I was about to say right away, Ryan Garcia, and then all of a sudden, I said, "Whoa, wait a minute." Conor Benn is no slouch. All right. Immediately the two Chris Eubank fights popped in my head, specifically the last one, in which he just, threw Chris Eubank a good old fashioned behind this shed ass whooping. And Ryan Garcia, looked fantastic in his fight when he won the title from Mario Barrios. And to be honest with you, I still think of the fight that he beat the snot out of Devin Haney. People are going to say, "Oh, he's all juiced up or whatever." I don't even want to talk. But my point is that he can fight, and the best. I never saw him as serious and as in shape as he was for the Mario Barrios fight. He's back with his father. Hopefully, that mentality and that dedication is carrying over to this fight because he's going to need it, boys and girls. Conor Benn, he's a trash talker. So is Ryan, which is making this pretty interesting. But Conor is a tough guy. He's a strong fighter. I'm expecting him to be bigger than Ryan. Ryan moved up to welter. Conor moved up to middle to fight Eubank. And Conor, is coming back down to welter, which he feels more comfortable. But remember, Ryan Garcia, he doesn't look big. He didn't look huge against Mario Barrios, and he didn't look huge in these couple of press conferences that has taken place between these two. Now, of course, it's not fight night, and he's not, in fight condition. But I do think he's been maintaining a good condition. I love the fight. It's going to take place September 12th, and it will be on Paramount. Ryan Garcia against Conor Benn, Zuffa Boxing Promotion. And